The Golden State Warriors took a 3-1 series lead in the NBA Finals last night after defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers 108-97. Now, what does that mean for the series? Well, it looks like, I'm not calling it as it is, but Francis Maxwell may have been very, very right in his prediction of the Warriors in 5. They get to go back home, up 3-1. It's very difficult to win at Oracle Arena. Home court advantage has been the obvious major theme to this NBA playoffs. Defending your home court, on the other hand, can end up being tragic for teams. Now, the Thunder couldn't do it in Game 6 against the Warriors, and that sparked part of their comeback in the Western Conference Finals. The Cavaliers looked like, through the first half of this game, that we were going back to Golden State with a 2-2 series tie, and we were going to have a hell of an NBA Finals on our hands if that were to happen. Now, it looks, and I don't want to say near impossible for a team to come back 3-1, it just doesn't seem like this Cavaliers team will be able to come back from a 3-1 series deficit. So where to begin? The first half. The Warriors' defense was not necessarily as hounding, as pesky. They played a little bit softer than I expected. Even Steve Kerr was saying they were playing softer than he expected. The three-point shot was falling pretty much all night for the Warriors, though. But in terms of what the Cavaliers were doing, Kevin Love gets subbed in off the bench. Obviously, he took that role after the concussion sidelined him for Game 3. No, they did not lose this basketball game because Kevin Love played. Has nothing to do. There's no correlation to the Cavaliers really losing basketball games because of Kevin Love. In fact, all the numbers point towards Kevin Love being a major benefit, a major boost to the Cavaliers' offense and defense when he's playing. If you want to look for more on that, you should go over and check out the Nylon Calculus article. I think it was from Andre Snelling's. Obviously, you know Andre for NBA clips, but it's a good read. Definitely worth checking out in terms of K-Love. But in the first half, Kyrie Irving again showing off his ability to be a prolific scorer. He was creating off the dribble once again, just like he did in Game 3. He put Chef Curry in the spin cycle a few times, which was always, I love that point guard matchup. If we're talking honestly here, Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, at least, I mean, coming into the league, Kyrie Irving was one of the guys I really like to watch. Solely because he still has one of the nastiest crossovers. Then injuries started piling up. You know, the storylines, LeBron goes back to Cleveland, started to overshadow Kyrie Irving and just his ability. Now, again, before LeBron goes back to Cleveland, they were 20-25 win team, 30 at the absolute most. So Kyrie Irving being able to, hit the highlight reel in the NBA Finals once again was absolutely great to see, especially from a Kyrie fan in myself. But Steph Curry obviously got the better of him. He dropped over 30 points. It was some weird stats before we get into the Draymond Green, LeBron James beef situation, because obviously Draymond Green is good at getting in people's ears, and that's what he did to LeBron. He really frustrated him. I'm going to give him credit for that one, because that's like almost a KG-esque way of messing with LeBron's head. So the Warriors shot above 50% from 3 in the second half, but below 35% from the field, at least in terms of the two-point range and the mid-range, everything with that. That's a little bit of a strange statistic, considering that just like their deep ball shooting obviously is good. It's obviously the make-or-break factor for the Warriors since they won the championship last year, their run beginning last year, and trying to go back-to-back in the NBA Finals. It just shows when a team's that hot from 3, it's going to be nearly impossible to defend them. But what the difference was in the second half was the Warriors' defense. Andre Iguodala played that LeBron stopper role in Game 4. It was on display. Again, when you look at the numbers, all the advanced analytics, everything about it, he's more of a LeBron speed bump. No one has actually really shut down LeBron. But in that game, Game 4, Andre Iguodala did. All the numbers. I think it was LeBron was a 1 of 8. Couple turnovers, wasn't shooting well, everything was contested with Iggy on him, and that really was a major difference maker for the Warriors, especially in the second half. One of the things too is, like I mentioned this in the Game 3 clip, LeBron, when his long range 2, it really is like his range is unfortunately not the 3-point line. If the 3-point line was this college 3-point line, LeBron would be dominating with that 19.5-foot jump shot that's worth 3 instead of 2. But so LeBron just didn't get those longer range shots to fall. He was 1 or 5 from 3. That's not his type of game. He was forced to take more 3-pointers. Unfortunately, none of them really went in except for 1. 1 of 5 from behind the arc is what I really should put it as. And when those shots don't go in, when LeBron can't get that mid-range shot going, the Cavs look sunk because the Warriors defense was forcing LeBron into taking those shots, was forcing Tristan Thompson to make difficult turnaround jumpers. Even though he hit it, that's never the shot you want Tristan Thompson to be taking. And he went from being a dominant force in the offensive rebounds in the first half to being rendered ineffective mostly in the second half. J.R. Smith, their role players, Channing Frye, did not have Game 3-esque numbers. They played not necessarily worse. I'm just going to credit more the Warriors' defense, their team defense, and how they really structured out their small ball lineup against the Cavs in that specific game. All right, so after the game, LeBron said in the press conference that Draymond Green went over the line with his words. He said some stuff that went too far.
LeBron, you had words with Draymond and Steph. What kind of got you going, and what were you saying to them?
Nothing that get me going. Draymond just, he said something that I don't agree with. I'm all cool with the competition. I'm all fine with that, but some of the words that came out of his mouth was a little bit overboard. And being a guy with pride, a guy with 3 kids and a family and things of that nature, just some things that go overboard, and that's where he took it. So, and that was it.
Anything with Steph?
Nah, that was that conversation was competitive conversation. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's trash talk. I mean, that means you're giving in. You lost in that situation because I read that as he said something that got on your nerves. It pinched a nerve, and it got the reaction that Draymond Green wanted to get out of you. Now, of course, Draymond was pissed because LeBron pretty much stepped over. He did. He stepped over him. And then they kind of threw a little soft elbows, some hands. They were getting tangled up. They were playing very physical against each other. I'm happy the refs didn't kind of throw 2 technicals their ways. They called a double foul, which ended in a jump ball. And on top of all of that, I'm rarely one to really criticize the refs, but they were throwing the Cavs a lot of foul calls in this game. A lot of calls to the Cavs and a lot of calls not against the Warriors. Andre Iguodala, that sequence of events, just to show the example, at the end of the first half, Andre Iguodala goes up for a spot-up Steph Curry range buzzer-beating jumper, and why J.R. Smith touches his elbow and everything. It was a clear foul, but why he even bothered to do it makes no sense to me. But he did, and he fouled him, and it was so beyond evident. And every 1080p, every 4K slow-motion camera that's sponsored by Carl's Jr. and Mountain Dew picked up the foul that J.R. Smith had on Andre Iguodala. And of course, they don't call it, right? So instead of getting 3 shots in the half, they go up by 5, and Steve Kerr's pissed, and that results in Steve Kerr screaming at the refs, and then he gets a technical. Technically, it actually went to Luke Walton. But that whole series of events just came from a really bad blown call. So I was thinking maybe if there's that bad of a blown call and it's that obvious, there'd be no way to track this. So I'm joking here. But if there's that bad of a blown call, like Steve Kerr should be able to say, or any head coach should get 1 sentence of totally profane language that cannot be picked up by the mics to say to the ref. Obviously, that's not going to work ever in the NBA. But in general, it was just a bad sequence of events. We head back to Golden State, just so everyone knows in the USA, because the Warriors won, they stole the country a taco. I think there's a free taco at Taco Bell either today or tomorrow. I will be getting mine. I hope you get yours. So at least we owe the Warriors a thank you for some free taco lunch, which is awesome. Comment below with what you think about Game 5 that's coming up, Game 5 in Golden State. It'd be nice to see the Warriors win on their home court. The 73-win season, they are 1 win away from capitalizing on one of the greatest regular seasons, playoffs, whatever you want to call it, altogether. 88 total wins as a team. That ties or breaks the Bulls record. It breaks the Bulls record for most wins in a season. And they are 1 win away from really taking it all. Like, favorite, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff's in the social media box below. Got the Mets hat on because my hair looks like ridiculousness. All right, we'll see you then.